Okie dokie. You two haven't separated, hey? Still just chilling, still just hanging out. And yes for that. Okay, very interesting. Good to know. For when we do eventually run that setup on this very series, potentially in the future. Okay. I mean, I could try and separate you. Rupert would probably be the one that came with, though, and I wanted to fight Jorgren, because I have this Vial of Floods ready to absolutely blast in his face. Apparently, Luganu hates Rue. I can definitely see that. Even though Rue was opposed to all creation, were they? So maybe it doesn't fit in any straightforward way. Wait, will Jorgren come up with us? I'm waiting one turn. Oh, you fool. You absolute fool. So now we file Floods. And we absolutely blast him. Light him on fire. Sticky flame. Oh, right, no, he's standing in water. That's stupid of me. Let's instead magma bolt his butt. Over and over again. Last time, never didn't have it. Perfect. So there we go. We did finally manage to split up the two little lovebirds down there. There is still an angry Rupert hanging around, though. I feel confident in fighting Rupert. Not so much. If he goes berserk, I mean, we can IMB away from us, but with berserk and the move speed bonus, I'm guessing he'll step up and give a whack or two. Not great. Not great. Could rely on statue form, which brings us up to 31 AC. And then we can't run away, of course, but we shouldn't need to if we just gosh darn kill him. Luganu hates all other gods. At the moment, Luganu is especially spiteful towards Rue and admires those who make sacrifices to Rue and then abandons Rue's worship. Oh geez, that is highly petty behavior there, Luganu. Tier 1, become the champion of Rue. Tier 2, after becoming the champion, abandon Rue and become the champion of different god. Tier 3, win the game in which you become the champion of Rue and then abandon Rue before entering any branches other than the temple or lair. That's a fun little challenge. I feel like you should always, instead of just becoming a champion of a different god, you should become a champion of Luganu. I think it's only appropriate. Also, you son of a gun. I guess what does the paralyzed go up to? Because we lose 1 pip of willpower from our robe. So never mind. I thought they succeeded a 4% chance. But I just wasn't thinking things through. We potentially should have switched over to our ring of willpower. And in fact, I'm just going to do that now. Oh, and he goes berserk. Apparently that was very upsetting for little Rupert here. Well, in that case, let's see. You're going to hit real hard. Okay. What do we wish to do? I mean, we can check IMB real quick. I mean, if we keep getting good knockbacks like that, it's going to go spectacularly. But I doubt we'll always get so much space. Let's start channeling magic here so that we don't run out of magic in a horrible spot. And this is the first time using this, so I think it does something like returns 3 to 5 magic points per turn, and then the number of turns it lasts is dependent on your invocation skill. So as long as you have good invocations, you can get a ridiculous amount of extra stretch to your survivability with thanks to channel magic. Sir, you were not invited? Excuse me, Naga Warrior? Let's take Rupert upstairs. Also have to take a couple steps so that our IMB actually sends Rupert flying off somewhere. Oh, and your berserk ran out, buddy. We did not think that one through. How can one cure the desire to just mindlessly Devo when playing any warrior? Oh, I don't think there is a cure. I think that you just have to get lucky enough to survive, because I've definitely fallen into that trap many a time in the past. I guess play some non-traditional warriors might be a bit more of a serious answer for me, because after playing a few like Feel It Berserkers, where the instant you start tabbing, you're probably gonna die in horrible ways, Yeah, Egg Lysane died hundreds of times was your cure. So hey, great minds think alike. I think I was pretty much on the same track as you. Just play as a hard species to play as a melee buddy. The sheer stress of how much you'll die will change your mind. Depends on the player for sure, though. I think there are lots of potential solutions, lots of different things, different routes that you can take or go about. Let's just get the heck out of there. But no, thanks to the question, Duskfall. I think that's an interesting concept to wrap your head around, because I definitely go through fits and bursts, I think. There'll be the occasional time where I just get really into like quick play and just blowing through character after character with fast O-tapping. And then in stuff like this series, where I'm actively trying to like achieve something in a bit more of a strategic level, I definitely feel like it's made me slow down and really start to think about what am I doing like each and every turn. And so I tab a lot less in this series. So maybe the other kind of joke answer to that would be start streaming DCSS. You immediately start to feel bad about wasting people's time with stupid deaths, and so it really provokes me at least to start paying more attention to what I'm doing. You like how this game teaches to calm down in stressful situations? I definitely agree with you there, Colgate. Yeah, that's something that I've taken from trying to get further with unfamiliar combos and stuff like that, is just that moment that I always like to preach about, the hands off the keyboard, just think, just relax for a bit, maybe don't even think, just like take a sip of your drink, you know, distract yourself, pet your dog, do whatever, and then come back to it feeling fresh, ready to deal with it in a bit more of a manageable state, instead of, yeah, when you're in panic mode and you're just, try this, press, and then you usually end up just walking yourself into an early grave. At least I do. I almost took a very aggressive sip there and splashed that across my entire face. Let's not do that. Not today at the very least. But okie dokie, how are we doing for training on shields? Not great, but the reason why I ask is because there's a buckler here, which we do have the skill to use. I think temporarily here, I'd like to make the change, put that son of a gun on, make sure I didn't cancel out our skill training by doing so, looking good. Ooh, that's a nice color of shield too. We're really getting a bit of a matchy-matchy outfit going on the run at this stage. Finding another identify is pretty huge as well. Finally, identifying Scroll of Noise, which sometimes I convince myself to carry around, thinking that I'll use it in some kind of cool strategic fashion. But because I've been struggling for inventory space, I will gladly just throw that trash on the ground for now. Vampires healing, not even close to outpacing us. Love to see it. Pyromancers I don't think are resistant to fire, right? No. That's good. That's very good. In that case, just blast them. Perfect. Typical fight or flight reaction to stressful situations is less useful in the modern world. No, and I think in general, talking, like arguing while you're in the heat of the moment can be unconducive to actual helpful and useful talk or criticism, versus I'm definitely a fan of waiting until I calm down to ever talk about things in any serious way, because I like to be in a position that I know will last, I guess. Like the decisions that I make are the same ones that I would make in average every day when I am calm. And so I definitely try my best to take that practice into real life as well, even though, to be fair, I'm not somebody who gets angry very often in my day-to-day life. So maybe it's easy for me to say that versus people who actually have had struggles with the kind of thing in the past. Okie dokie, we can line all of our friends up here, use some magma bolts to just knock them all down a peg. Not too bad here. Ouch. That hurt a lot. Throw icicle. Ouchie. Not fun. Well, guess you probably threw Icicle and got an attack in the same turn. That's what I'm taking from that, because we do have cold resistance. We do have 1 pip, indeed. Let's go statue form. That'll help us stay alive slightly longer here, and then we can follow that up with a bolt of acid. Actually, what's our chances of hitting you with that? 50%? That's not great. So now we're slightly better off against the melee attacks coming out from this buddy. Not quite so comfortable against Throw Icicle and Force Lance. That might be very scary. And happy Halloween to you as well, Duskfall. Definitely enjoy the reminder of one of the more fun holidays. Has less problematic relations to it in terms of historical context too, so I absolutely love Halloween. Actually, that might not be true. Has Halloween... What is the origin of Halloween? I feel like I should know this. It's All Hallows Eve, right? Huh. Maybe I'll do some research after the stream today and try it out. How many runes were you going for? So just 3 on these characters for sure. Whenever we're trying to get our great player progress down, it is definitely a bit more about just trying to deal with the initial part of the game here. Duskfall, you just noticed the name of the character, pretty amusing. Yeah, we have to thank the lovely Safed for that, always coming up with our more fun character names. And yeah, we went for the thematic approach. We had the puns, which I am a huge fan of, the human-based puns, but weighing that against the festive spirit in the air tonight, we decided to go the more thematic route, and I'm happy for it. Okie dokie. Speaking of needing to calm down, probably should have thought this through a little bit more. We could just blink out. We have 6 blinks. I haven't been using them much whatsoever. And as long as this buddy can't throw Icicle, we're actually in a pretty decent spot. I mean, we don't have very good range either, don't get me wrong, so I don't know how much we can eke out of that. But even our Fireball will slightly outpace that in a good way. So, let's play it safe, shall we? Just blink out, go in the opposite direction. Don't have enough magic for Fireball, that's good to know. And then, what else is at our disposal? We could go for Ice Blast. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So even after 1 step, they're in range to throw another Icicle our way. Let's play it safe again. Start with a health potion. Then we'll absolutely blast him. And then, last but not least, Fireball should do the trick. Perfect. Foxfire is line of sight range. You're right about that. No, I definitely... I've kind of started to sweep it under the rug. We're getting to the stage in the game where it's not dealing quite as well with the enemies that we're approaching. So it has caused me to swipe it under the rug just a wee bit. And do I scam the Zot Clock with Ziggurat? No, I don't think I will. You mentioning it earlier in the stream here was the first time I'd actually heard of that. So generally, no, that's not something that we actively partake in, even though I find it very interesting. Again, if you're able to clear a Ziggurat, otherwise you're going to expend a lot of resources just running through one. So I think it's fascinating, but might be better in theory than in practice. Very curious about that. Let's check out all of our stairs here, shall we? See if there's any specifically safer entrance, as it were. Okay, we can definitely fight off Hydra with the statue form here. You can even see how our Foxfires do against the stage. And we're definitely going to head back into a hallway, take out this son of a gun. Perfect. Gotta love statue form. That 31 AC on a caster is absolutely beautiful. Or how many unknown potions and scrolls are you carrying? Too many, I think, is the fair answer to that. Let's actually do a little bit of an inventory here. We have 6 unknown potions and 3 unknown scrolls. Hey, 3. It's going down. We're better than we were a minute ago. No, my innate refusal to waste even a single one with a Quaffer read ID is potentially leading us to stress in our future. Who can say for sure how these things will go? Okie dokie. Big ol' Hydropower. Centaur Warrior. Okay, I was gonna say without a weapon. That smells like a shapeshifter to me, but they are quivering arrows, so I take it back. Probably the real dealio here. I am more than happy. Take these buddies on, though, I think. Let's statue form up. Start blasting, making good use of Magma Bolt again before it's gone here. We do what we can. Not too bad. This is one of those annoying dungeon floors where it feels like that's a custom vault. And custom vaults always scare me just a wee bit. Had many a terrifying situation result from trying to force my way through those slightly earlier than might otherwise be appropriate. Just run away during the damage reflect and then absolutely smoke them all. Oh no. Of course I miscast. You son of a gun. Well, let's just take you upstairs then. And blast you? Much better. Okay. What is our fail chance on Bolt of Magma? Oh, 1%, of course. Of course. Why did I even have a doubt in my mind for even a moment? If you fail something in a critical moment and it almost gets you killed, it's probably just a 1% chance. These are the way of the world, as it were. Okay, let's light you on fire. Let's just blast you out of existence. Not quite as effective as I was expecting. Let's maybe bring you both upstairs, shall we? Oh, stop. Don't heal, though. That's not cool. That's not at all cool. Probably not worth the fireball, now that I think about it. But hey, as long as we have statue form up, we can manage to go tete-a-tete against this Skeletal Warrior. Not too bad there. Despite my best efforts to get myself killed in a stupid way, we're hanging in there, bud. Frank will go the distance, we believe. Let's get back on the road, shall we? Oops, accidentally statue formed twice. Also, didn't actually mean to fireball there. No, stop that. Sticky flame. There we go. Let's sticky flame you two. We should have decent willpower. We're still wearing the willpower ring, so 1% chance to banish. I mean, we were just talking about 1% chances and what that implies, so maybe I should be a little bit more scared than I'm putting on here, but we'll be fine. Especially with that sticky flame just absolutely blasting that son of a gun. Oh geez, and then this got much sketchier very quickly. Let's start channeling magic so that we have not infinite, but a functionally infinite supply here. The Centaur or the Pyromancer must have tried to hit us with something and it reflected back, right? Didn't cast down there. Huh. You fool. You fell right into my trap. But let's Bolt of Magma, finish off these two sons of guns, and not too bad. Only a little bit scared for my life. That's just an average day in the life of Frank and Stein here. So we turn back into our normal form, just at the end of combat. Perfect timing there. Oh jeez. I feel like my bangs were extra frizzy rather at the end of my shower today, so it's causing me no lack of annoyance as they brush up against my forehead. We gotta stay focused. It's all about the focus. And I kid about that, but as anyone who's watched us a decent amount in the past knows, that is one of my actual mind states on this game in general, is that it is more of a test of focus than skill. Once you get to a certain point and you've played a decent amount, of course, because when you're still learning the game, there are so many things that can take you by surprise and the like. But on a lucky run that's not dealing with extraneous circumstances, definitely just becomes a matter of can you remain paying attention long enough to not make enough mistakes that you end up losing it all. Because you can even make mistakes in this game, which is what I love about it. It's important to make mistakes and to learn from them. But as soon as you make a mistake that kills you, that's the end, as it were. Hello, my wizard friend. Probably shouldn't even bother blasting you like that. It's super loud and a bit unnecessary. Oh, Cyclops at our back. Oh no. Well, I can definitely go to statue form. We're slightly more likely to survive a prolonged encounter here. Let's IMB as well. Just gain a little bit of breathing room here. Perfect. Perfect. Doggo snoring just a wee bit. My bottom right here. Very cute. Let's just get out of there while we're sitting pretty, looking ahead here. Not too bad. Not too shabby whatsoever. Let's re-engage on this fight. Oh my gosh, in a slightly more manageable state. I was sane, but turns out no such thing as more manageable. It's just absolute chaos down here. Well, well, well. That's going to turn into Titanic slime in no time. Well, guess we could still lead you friends back to a stair, hey? Come with me, friend. I'll take you away from this horrible place. Perfect, and not too bad. Much more manageable at the very least. We can get them into a hallway. That'll be even better. Ultra Magma. Light you on fire, light you on fire. This is a total of 66 damage, is it? Indeed. So we should be okay here. No longer quite looking as okay here. Let's back up. But fortunately, can blast them. I mean, you're probably almost dead. But wouldn't that be an embarrassing way for us to die, trying to take you out one last time? I mean, you still could random energy into me and do the same, and that'd be even worse because we had the opportunity to kill you. Oh gosh, Centaur Warrior and a Raiju? Okay, you know what? Raiju has left our sight. I'm gonna Bolt of Magma. Run away. Jesus, jeez Louise. Don't do that. Don't scare me like that, game. Flashing red lights and all the works. Okie dokie. Continue our journey of just dancing around, being as careful and cautious as we possibly can here. Light you on fire, please and thank you. And then probably should have actually saved that magic reserve for the end of the fight, but is a-okay here. And we'll just rest up instead. Jeez Louise, what an eventful D14. It's not even D15, but it is these gosh darn treasured areas. Always so scary. Sir, you were not a part of this? How dare you? Dare you interrupt our duel? I mean, the Skeletal Warrior were having at it here. Get a good stretch in. Keeping ourselves fresh mentally here at the very least, when possible. Let us blast through with some bolts of magma. Love to see it. Once more, let's show them what we're made of. I want to hit that Tengu, but let's be patient. There we go. Now we'll light on fire with some Sticky Flame, get around that high evasion. I feel like Sticky Flame might, or should almost, still have an evasion check, if just for that fact there. Like, how did we stick it to them, you know? But I will gladly take advantage of the fact that it does not. 100% chance to hit. Absolutely lovely. And just finish all these Sons of Guns off. We also pick up the Book of Iron from Sifmuna, adding animate armor and iron shot to our library. Iron shot, pretty nice consistent damage spell for sure. We'll probably end up using that a decent amount, especially if we don't want to resort all the way to Lahudib's Crystal Spear. Iron shot is a bit more of a middle ground option that achieves very similar results at the very least. That is a half decent plan for the future. Feels like 95% of your deaths are either from overconfidence or impatient. The other 5% is from the you are cast into the abyss or you fall through a shaft and drop 3 floors. No, I agree with you there for sure. I think overconfidence, I mean, well, we all know overconfidence is a slow and insidious killer, but impatience is another huge one. And definitely for me as a player, I reached the point where I'm just like, oh, I'll just swing into this buddy a few more times. How could it possibly go wrong? When there were so many options at the disposal, or my disposal, so many other avenues that we could have explored. So I highly feel you there, to say the least. And even when I get that 5%, that's when I'm laughing the hardest, I find, at least for me personally. I know that that's a bit more divisive, and there are many people who absolutely hate those slightly more RNG-based mechanics, but something about it that really tickles my fancy. I was looking at the Shadow Dragon scales, and that's why I was peering through my inventory, trying to sift through if there's something that we wanted to drop off. They're definitely a bit heavier, the Shadow Dragon scales, but just seeing them this early on intrigued me, at least. The other reason why they're not quite as necessary as otherwise might be is that we have all of the resistance to negative energy that we could possibly want in the world, and we don't have any advantage gained from the stealth side of them, really. There's not much reason to make a special exception, but it would look kind of cool, and so it was worth the thought at the very least. Looking cool, as we all know, very important to your dungeon crawling adventures. If not the most important factor, really, if we're being honest with ourselves. That was not a great shapeshifter form for us to be up against, but hey, got through to one piece. Look at us now. Feeling better about life and everything in it. Gotta be just about done this floor though, right? Absolutely wild. There we go. Through the end of D14 after a whole bunch of struggle. We haven't even done either of our rune branches yet. Huh. Would you look at that? It's been an interesting game. It went so fast at the start that it's definitely started to cap off at this stage here, where our defenses are looking a little lackluster. I mean, statue form aside, obviously, because that's doing absolute wonders in terms of our overall survivability here, don't get me wrong. Definitely some tough fights in the last little bit here that have caused us to slow our roll, make sure that we're fully paying attention to what the heck is going on. Finally, another identify scroll. It's been an eon, an eternity, since we last saw one of you. We identify scrolls of amnesia, which normally super important for a spellcaster, slightly less so for a follower of Sifmuna, if just because you can use one of the divine abilities supplied by our lovely deity there to cause the same effect. It does cost piety, so I am always happy to get the scrolls, of course. Just slightly less urgent than it otherwise might be. Lightning Rod we can leave behind for now. Already got one of those sons of guns. Shapeshifter took our own form, a human. Scariest shape that they can possibly take. Up to 4 healing potions, so we're finally seeing some returns in that regard as well here. This is where I wish that I had Ignition online. Wouldn't that be fun? At the end of the day, we can still do some IMB. Is there a hallway nearby? Not. Go all the way up there, eh? Let's see, if I can take care of these wargs. I think one of the underrated benefits of Ash is that they identify your items. No, definitely really nice not to have to worry whatsoever about not having that crucial consumable at the time of need, right? Like a bit of a diminishing return, of course, on that advantage, but can't argue with you there. It's pretty sweet to have all of those potions and scrolls completely available right from the get-go is pretty awesome. And here's the hallway of our dreams when it comes to Bolt of Magma, as we just continually launch through all these sons of guns. Slightly missing out at the end here, but we should be fine. Unless statue form decides that that is the moment to end. Well, let's go back to running a bit. Whoopsie daisies. We should actually be able to take these buddies now with our statue form back online. There we go. Game always knows when you're about to make bold claims about your survivability based on a contingency. Immediately slap that out of your hands. What you gonna do now? Absolutely fantastic. Keeps things interesting and keeps me having fun day in, day out. Oops, failed to cast statue form at a critical moment there. Glad we noticed before coming into melee range with the Hydra, because they definitely would hit a whole lot harder without getting over double our AC. Oh wow, and 2 ID scrolls on 1 floor? Game, you spoil me. You spoil me so. Statue form. Let's stick some flame to all these sons of guns. Oh, I missed the perfect opportunity for a bolt of magma, but that's cool. Switch over some of the more traditional things here. Oh geez, it's actually worse when you split like that for some reason. Only had enough magic to target one of you. Not too bad here. Let's definitely take a step in, make sure that we're applying some overall damage to all of y'all folks. Those slimes are probably going to end up slightly too big for my liking. Oh, a bunch of them were potentially fake from the... Not Raiju. Rakshasa. That's the one. Let us end transformation and run. Throw out 1 fireball for funsies, I guess, but then let us get the heck out of Dodge here. Especially if they want to waste turns re-collaborating and the like. I don't mind if you do, but I'm going to get out of here. Perfect. You head to a whole nother downstairs. Let's finish exploring. Gotta be getting pretty close to the end here, you know? Blast them all. Get some good magma bolts popping off here. Absolutely love to see it. I was not paying attention as I hit tab too many times. Can already tell that I'm getting to that point in the run where I'm starting to lose focus here, as we were mentioning earlier. We might cut it a little bit shorter in general tonight, if just to save myself from that. Makes sense with all the yawns. I think I'm just slightly out of it and tired here. So I'm just happy we've managed to make it this far. Isn't that a miracle in its own right? Okay, let's take you fellas back a little bit. Drain ya, blast ya. Might as well go for another blast. Not too bad. Did we kill the Moth of Wrath? I guess we must have, right? Nice. That worked out. Made our way into our depths entrance, no problem. And wow, that's that. E15. Cleared all the way through. Well, we were talking about our ending earlier. This would be a good time to cap it, but I'm tempted to push it just a wee bit further. Hopefully not to detrimental results. I think I might want to get started on one of my S branches. We could even potentially go back to Orc if we so desired. I've almost been holding off on that explicitly to find ignition because it's such a fun way to clear that entire floor. We also haven't done a peek into our skills in quite a while. So we can maybe see where we're doing there. Spellcasting is still on its way up. Shields getting closer, definitely getting closer. Let's maybe start training invocations again. I want Divine Exegesis to be fully castable sooner rather than later. On the flip side of things, Earth and Transmutations, both pretty solid. 7% statue form, that's totally good in my books. We could start training back into fire, especially, again, if we want Flame Strike by the end, which I kind of do. Even if just to show off the higher level spells. So let's put that on the back burner and bring it up to, oops, hitting so many keys unintentionally. Let's bring it up to 20. There we go, much better. And we'll almost definitely be happy with that. Spellcasting only coming up to 12. Scrap that. Let's bring it up to 11 because we're looking all right so far in this regard. I don't think we have Spellforge Servitor yet, which is something I'm going to have my eye out for in the near future. Orb of Destruction is almost castable though. So hold up. Let's throw the brakes on here. And let's train Conjurations before we train Fire Magic. This would be very nice. To have Orb of Destruction online is just a kind of be-all end-all way to absolutely blast a single target into oblivion. Seems pretty good in my books. And with that, let us start our dive into Snakepit, shall we? This is an area that is very nearly been the death of me far too many times as of late, so I will definitely be giving it the respect it deserves. So we try our very best to make it through in one piece. Start with just some Foxfire, light them on fire, and more of the same. I do almost wish that we had the Kite Shield up to a usable point before coming down here, just so we get extra reflection as we come across all these lovely sharpshooters. Hello friends, welcome, welcome. Let's see, can't hit, oh we can hit all of you with a Fireball. Fireball creates a whole lot of noise, so it's not always going to be our best bet, if just because it can draw far too much attention to ourselves. But it sure is nice to just absolutely smash these ranged buddies. As much damage as we can, so we failed to cast that Fireball. Embarrassing. When I was trying to look cool in front of my friends. Stop. And, slightly more concerned about a Naga Warrior. Even with 31 AC, that's going to be draining down in no time. Can maybe start with some good old blasting, like we do. Light you on fire. Let's take you upstairs. Take you upstairs is the thing. Yeah, that constriction is where we start running into problems. Fortunately, we do just have to kill this one buddy, and then the friend won't come adjacent to us, so we won't have to deal with constriction. But, oh, we have to survive until that point. Let's try and go upstairs one more time. Perfect, much better. As soon as we're able to light you on fire again, we will do so, and not too bad. Slightly scary, but not too bad, all things considered. It's a good start to the branch at the very least. And a Guardian Serpent might change all of that. So with that blinking circle, that's going to be really scary. Because with all of the constriction happening, there's no guarantee that we make our way up the stairs. You hate to see it. Definitely do. I guess, oh, IMB. Let's remember that for next time. Store that away in the databanks. We have Iskandarin's Mystic Blast. If we're getting constricted, just blast him. Just blast him. It's that easy. Okie dokie. Well, regardless, let's start blasting the traditional way. Okay, that's the only buddy that gets hit next to us. I guess IMB doesn't do anything when you're positioned there. Sir, please, stop. Sir, please, I'm already dead. There we go. Line them up at least. Get a bit of a 2-for-1 kind of deal. Not too bad. So I might be worrying myself a little bit too much compared to how those fights seem to go in the end of the day here. But I think it's important for me to keep that level of awareness and caution online, just so I don't find myself swinging too far in the opposite direction and dying in a exceptionally stupid fashion, like we have so many times before in this very branch. Doki, you fool the sharpshooter. Well, might as well light your friend on fire too. Why the heck not? Makes my life a wee bit easier, and the reflection finishes them off. Perfect. Guess we do have 12 shielding at the very least. That's not nothing. Definitely does some half-decent work for us in the long run here. Sticky Flame, still definitely one of our be-all, end-all solutions to most of these fights. Oh, you're... yeah, immune to fire. That makes sense. Oh, silly old me. Let's blast you. Okay, hear some shouts after doing that. We really need some element-free damage coming our way here. I mean, we can just keep blasting you a bit. And now you're slowed, you absolute fool. Okay, run the heck away. They are pretty fast, so as soon as that wore out, which was much sooner than I otherwise would have liked, they do catch up to us, but nice friendly reminder. There are some immune to fire enemies in this branch. Definitely should have thought about that beforehand, but let's learn from our mistakes. We can immediately slap something onto the agenda here. Stone Arrow is okay, but probably not quite enough damage. Iron Shot is probably going to be slightly more applicable to our situation here. So let's try that out. I may even say goodbye to Foxfire finally. Again, one of my favorite spells. Did so much work for us in the early game. Couldn't stop talking about it. But it's just about time to switch it out for something a bit more useful in the later section of the game here, with a bit more of an oomph to its punch. An Iron Shot, that will be absolutely huge. Guess I should always have statue form on. I kind of forgot that it's also our source of resistance to poison, so that's pretty important. And, ooh, shop. Or a few shops, really, if we're being honest. The Amulet Wifidi. Faith is interesting. We take a Faith Amulet with Sif Muna. It does work out quite well. It means that we can channel magic all the time. So we can just start blasting off everywhere. Be a bit more free to channel magic left and right. Same with making Divine Exegesis obviously a bit more castable and the like. Otherwise, it's just another source of positive energy, which I feel like I always have to make the joke. I appreciate positive energy, of course. But in terms of the game here, don't have too much of a need for that. We have 2 different rings that give us maximum resistance to negative energy. And that's not even including the fact that we're using statue form pretty prolifically, and that also resists negative. So maybe we'll leave that alone for now. I'll put it on the shopping list just in case. Books become really interesting because, as mentioned before, when we had the option to take one, and did end up taking one from our Scroll of Acquirement, Sif Muna will give us access to all of these at some point in the future. But I will mark the Book of Power just for Spellforge Servitor. Great way of taking out some of the stronger late game enemies. Ozakubu's autobiography. Incredible. Astonishingly vain and self-aggrandizing work. Oh, I didn't know that about Ozakubu. Slowly making my mental image of the history of the world. Didn't think that Ozakubu was an ass, but hey, we learn something new every day. The author claims credit for a wide swath of magical inventions, but seems to have misunderstood or misrepresented most of them. Only a few of the spells described in the book actually work. That's super cute. That definitely takes the cake of the day here as to just fun thematic writing in an item. It's absolutely hilarious. I should probably read all of the spell books descriptions a little bit more often. If they're all that fun, seems like a good time to me. Hello, my snaky pals. Not too bad, just dealing with a bunch of Black Mamba. And here comes our first Boa Constrictor. go for some blast through here. And not boa constrictor, sorry, anaconda, of course, is what I meant. Oh, mixing up my snacks. Also, ooh, statue form ran out. That's not great. Let's switch our willpower for poison resistance, because we have to survive at least enough turns to get back up to 6 magic points. There we are. Welcome back to statue form, and now we just tap, 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 tap. Ain't a thing in the world. Salamander. We've been over this. Ooh, that's unexplored territory. Don't mind me. Pardon me. Excuse me. Pardon me. We could remove our statue form so that we're not taking constant damage, but it actually, with the armor class buff, I think kind of was a net positive for most of our journey here. And then, so close, taking them out. Maybe we should have waited for 3 casts just to be safe. There we go. Oh, just get out of here, folks. They will not leave me alone. Jeez Louise. There we go. Finally make our way up for a full heal. Bring back our statue form. Let's take this son of a gun on. Iron Shot doing absolutely incredible work as always. Very happy we decided to add that to our spellbook. I guess even more happy that the salamander was the one to help us out with that little nifty tidbit, that hint for our future. Very solid. Step towards our friend here. I guess we don't have Rampage anymore when we're in statue form, which is interesting to note. It was something that I wasn't banking on by any stretch of the imagination, but I hadn't really thought of the fact that our boots are melded into our body, and so we actually lose that Rampage ego, making ourselves slightly safer from potential stupid mistakes. So that's good. It's always good.